Today we're going to show you some of the features and benefits of the Complete Cooling System Jet Master Kit. We have it laid out. This is what you're going to get in the box, and you'll lay it out like this. Now we are going to install it on a motor out of the car so that you can see it. Now typically, obviously, you're going to do this in the car, and this is a real knuckle buster. Trust me, I know. Putting a radiator and a water pump in a classic Mini with its transverse engine design is an awful job, but it is doable and you can handle it, trust me, even if you have the inner radiator shroud inside the fender well. So today, my assistant Paul here is going to give us a hand and we're going to start putting this in. So here we go. Okay, we're at the point now where we're going to slip the radiator on. Now, it's really important. You should have this lower radiator hose on the radiator when you go to slip it down into the hole. We've provided you with the one-piece radiator shroud. Now, there are the two-piece radiator shroud for the Mark 1 and 2, and the Cooper and Cooper S lower portion of the two-piece radiator shroud, and there's also the different lower radiator brackets. Now, there's a combination of about 3 or 4, actually. This particular setup handles about 80–90% of the Minis out there. We will have in the drop-down menus whether or not you have the large bore or the small bore or bypass or no bypass. So right now we're working on a 1300A+. It has no bypass hose, so we put the water pump with no bypass. That'll be an option for you in the drop-down menus. Also, the upper radiator bracket for small bore. Small bore is 850, 998, 1098. Large bore is 1275, 1300. And that will determine whether or not you get this bracket or this hose, and then also whether or not you get the bypass or no bypass. So when you go to slip this down in the hole, this is the really critical part because you want to be careful of the fins of the radiator, and then also I do a couple test fits before I really go for it, but make sure you put your fan belt on. Don't want to forget that because it is kind of a bummer to try and lace it through the fan and the grill. Also, you want to make sure that you have the fan spacers on here to relieve the fan from hitting the timing gear or timing gear breather right here. So if you happen to have a round timing cover breather instead of the flattened timing cover breather, you might need 2 spacers. So we have run into that too. So here we go. Let's take a look and show you how we put this radiator in. All right, come on in here, Paul. And we're going to pretend the fender's right here, and Paul's going to slip it down as tight as he can. He's actually going to try and even touch this fan for you. Make sure that your upper radiator bolts are loose. Make sure your lower radiator bolts are loose. And it also helps to put a little lubricant on the lower grommets and put a little lubricant on your hoses because it makes it slipping onto the upper thermostat housing and the water pump much easier. So go ahead, Paul, slip it down on in there like the fender's there. And we'll slip it into the bracket. We have completely finished installing the Complete Cooling System Jet Master Kit upgrade. Anyway, when you're all done, one of the most important things I want you to do is spin the fan. Make sure you spin the fan before you tighten down the fan belt on the alternator or generator. Make sure that you have clearance on the radiator shroud and the timing cover breather if you have one, and any of the bolts, just make sure it spins freely and you're not hitting anything. Another thing I want you to pay particular close attention to is make sure that the lower radiator hose, when you tighten down your clamps, that you position it so it's not rubbing on the timing cover or the breather, or it's touching the exhaust manifold with your heater takeoff, but really kind of twist it around. It does help to put some lubricant on there and then tighten your clamps down so you can get it in the proper direction. Also, the upper radiator hose, whether it's a small bore or the large bore, make sure you trim it to fit and don't kink it. Make sure it's got the proper bend and it's not kinked and it's all in position properly. So that's about it. That was easy, wasn't it? So there you go. We'll see you on the next one.